Lily sat at her kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a warm mug of tea, trying to steady the storm brewing in her mind. Her husband, Ben, had always been the man she thought she knew inside and out. They had been married for 7 years, built a home together, and navigated the ups and downs of life with love and resilience. At least, that's what she had always told herself. But now, sitting in their quiet house, she couldn't escape the gnawing feeling that something had changed. A few months ago, she noticed that Ben had become distant. His late nights at the office were no longer just work. His phone calls seemed private, his gaze less focused. She pushed the thought aside, convinced it was just stress. He reassured her, saying that the pressure at work was overwhelming. But deep down, Lily felt that the cracks were beginning to form. The real shift happened when she found out about her, Samantha. It wasn't a direct discovery, not in the way one would expect, with blatant evidence. It was something subtler. A misplaced text message. Ben had left his phone unattended while going to take a quick call outside. The message was brief, but the intimacy in it was unmistakable. "I miss you. I can't wait to see you again." Lily's heart pounded as she read the words again. The room spun, and for a moment, everything felt unreal. She knew she should confront him, but what if she was wrong? What if it was nothing? It was in that instant that the emotional conflict started to take hold. Should she confront him now and risk tearing their life apart, or stay silent and hope that things would somehow fix themselves? She chose silence, at least for the time being. Days turned into weeks, and the emotional turmoil within her only grew. Ben continued to be distracted. The words in the text kept echoing in her mind. He was hiding something. And yet, every time he came home and smiled at her, held her hand, she felt a flicker of the old connection, the man she had once fallen in love with. But was that love still there? Was it enough to salvage their relationship? She didn't know anymore. One evening after dinner, she decided it was time to talk. She couldn't carry the weight of this secret any longer. Ben sat across from her, his face relaxed but weary from the day's stress. "Ben," she began, her voice trembling despite her attempts to steady it, "I need to ask you something." He looked up, a faint furrow of concern appearing on his brow. "What is it?" Lily swallowed hard. "Who is Samantha?" His face drained of color in an instant. She watched as the words caught in his throat, his mind racing to formulate an answer. For a long moment there was silence, the weight of her question hanging in the air between them. It was a moment that felt like an eternity. Ben finally spoke, his voice low and hesitant. I never meant for you to find out." "Then why didn't you tell me?" Lily's voice cracked. "Why didn't you come to me if you were feeling lonely, or lost, or confused?" Ben ran his hands through his hair, his shoulders sagging with the weight of guilt. "Lily, it's not that simple. It wasn't about you, or not loving you. I don't even know how it happened. Samantha, she came into my life at a time when I was feeling lost, and I got caught up in something I never thought would spiral out of control. It was supposed to be one moment of weakness." Lily's mind reeled, unable to make sense of the words. One moment of weakness? This wasn't just a mistake. It was a betrayal of trust, of everything they had built together. Tears welled in her eyes, and she wiped them away angrily. "And what about us, Ben? What about everything we've built? Was that not enough for you?" He reached across the table, trying to take her hand, but she pulled away, shaking her head. "I can't just forget about this. I can't erase what I'm feeling right now. You've shattered everything." Ben's voice cracked as he spoke. "I never wanted to hurt you, Lily. I never wanted this to happen. I don't know how to fix it, but I want to try. I love you. I really do." Lily stared at him, her heart torn in two. She loved him too. But love wasn't always enough to repair the damage done. There were so many layers to this. The hurt, the distrust, the emotional walls that had gone up between them. She could still see the man she had once adored, but now he seemed like a stranger. a man who had crossed a line she didn't think was ever possible. The truth was, Lily was no longer sure who she was in this relationship. She had given herself to Ben completely, trusting him with all her heart. But now, that trust had been called into question, and she was left wondering whether it was even possible to rebuild what had been lost. "I don't know what to do, Ben," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I don't either," he admitted. "But I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If you want space, I'll give it to you. If you want time, I'll give you time. I'll prove to you that I'm still the man you married. Please, just don't give up on me yet." Lily took a deep breath, the weight of the decision before her pressing down on her like a heavy stone. Could she forgive him? Could she trust him again? She didn't know. All she knew was that the man who sat before her was the same man who had broken her heart, and that the future they had once imagined together now seemed uncertain, tangled in secrets and lies. As the night wore on, Lily sat in silence, lost in thought, unsure of what to do next. There were no easy answers, no clear path forward, only the realization that love was complicated, fraught with vulnerability, mistakes, and sometimes painful truths. Lily spent the next few days in a haze. Every moment felt like a fog, and the weight of the conversation with Ben lingered over her like a dark cloud. They shared a home, a life, yet it felt as though they were living in different worlds now. She would wake up beside him each morning, his arm around her, and for a split second, everything would feel normal again. But then the memories would flood back, the text, the confrontation, the raw honesty in his eyes as he admitted what he had done. She couldn't escape the fact that the foundation of their marriage had cracked, and she wasn't sure if it could be repaired. She tried to carry on with her daily routine, but everything felt different. She'd walk into the kitchen to make coffee, her mind distracted by the image of Ben sitting in the same spot, his face weary and regretful. She would clean the house, organizing things they had bought together, and the memories would come rushing back, the vacations, the intimate conversations, the laughter. How could all of that exist alongside the betrayal? Ben, for his part, seemed genuinely remorseful. He never stopped trying to apologize. He would leave her notes, reminding her that he was there if she wanted to talk, that he would respect her space if she needed it. But each time he reached out, Lily felt like she was drowning in a sea of emotions. Some days, she couldn't bear to look at him. Other days, she would catch herself staring at him, wondering if the person she had loved so deeply was still there, buried beneath the guilt.